in my posse deep and irate, and we act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, bet on my bacon. Big it flat in the blanket. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubble. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubble. Look at the cash, look at the cash bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you wanna stuff for. Money, that machine. The Ferragamo store. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. After like a 9/11, folks. Matt back, liquor clean. Dead president and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a penny hoe.
Over here, empty your pockets. I don't do that. You might press me. You do what I tell you. Get over here. Who's gonna get this?
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash bubbling. Look at the cash bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash bubbling. Look at the cash bubbling.
Done. I've been finessing since the 8th grade, but now I'm getting paid just to show face. If you want me, tell that okay. Most my, but they never fake. Still won't pay the bill, even if I ate. I don't pay for meals, I don't go on dates, but I still get the cake.
We welcome set for the opening kickoff. The NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards.
Hard for them to stop him. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Ben to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A handoff to start the drive to Mason. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 90 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Now Mason. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Mason. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Toss play to Mason. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Stafford. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And an alley to run. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Out of the gun, Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Play action. Stafford. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He goes underneath to Freeman. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Set for 60.
They go play action here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
And how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, Freeman. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's airing it out for Sanu. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Starting the drive with Mason on the ground. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On second down, here's Stafford. Flush to his right. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nickel Roby-Coleman, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Set. Waiting.
To throw again. Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. He got it stripped, but you can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation also by the defense.
On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Ready? Like 80.
They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Open man is Holmes. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield.
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And he fires one incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it was really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Roethlisberger now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Here's Roethlisberger. Walker with a grab, left side. Unable to corral him, he fights through. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open, he just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Kyle Van Noy in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Doyle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Stafford now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 37. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. But wait up now. A flag is down. If this is on the defense, they're going to get the first. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. The final shot before the break, Stafford. On the left side, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half two after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
Hey, go here!
Stafford on first down. His throw incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Mason on the taunts. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Nickel Roby brings him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6.
Set! 180!
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now Sproles. And he spins through. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
On first down, Stafford here. And incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And now it's 2nd down.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. With shot green, 76 yards. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, Those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over and sit there and get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the first down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
The drive begins with Mason. And he'll find some space up to about Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
21.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. A dump off for Mason. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing is Stafford. On the screen, this is Mason. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And Walker with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Jonathan Cyprien there defensively to make the play.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. No man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll run here with Mason. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On the ground again, it's Mason. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The Browns on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is third down and 12. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Stafford now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Now they run. It's Mason. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They'll run again with Mason. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
The Browns on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Stafford. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Hugh Jackson rolls the dice, but it doesn't work for him. And the Bengals will get the football back. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road? And everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Holmes. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals are going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Thomas Davis leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. I know it looks like fun to guys like you and me. We're up here in the booth and everyone watching on television, but are you kidding me? In the snow, that type of a play, in the cold, you know that had to hurt to make that play.
I'm just mad he didn't make a snow angel while he was down there. Opportunity missed.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. They'll throw right side here, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very solid gain of 27. And in this weather, and I know you weren't a quarterback, you were on the defensive side of things, but how hard is it to throw that football?
It can't be easy because you never know how the moisture is going to affect things, and each quarterback handles it different, better than others. Depends whether we're wearing a glove, not wear a glove, how cold is it, all those things go into it. But it goes to everything else. Keeping your footing when you're running routes. Supposedly you have the advantage as a receiver because you know where you're going, but that's not easy as well. Finally, just locating the ball when it finally comes through the snow. Kids love snow. Players, not so much at times.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but, the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. They run it with Mason. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Ndamukong Suh busting through to get him for a loss of 6. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Cup, complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. So that right there was his 2nd pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in a game, that's like kid stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already
amateur
done that,
hour.
right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a 3rd again.
Stafford going to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. In for the score. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here, and that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So the false start will back them up 5. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, a nice spin. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they'll run it on the toss. They find some open field here. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for the Browns, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll try to rebound next week as
Figure the plot, figure the plot, figure the bag. Meet him a bite, now lease in no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just eating cause they in the way.